everybody. What's up? I am so sorry, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just keep it real with y'all. Today was a fight to get on. Today was a fight to get on, family. I am not gonna lie. It was a fight to get on. Not because of anything, but if I'm being very honest with y'all, I'm trying to figure out this new thing with doing content, and it was taking me a minute. My mouse wasn't working the way I needed it to work. It's just a bunch of different stuff. So I apologize for my delay. But tonight I am going to, go at this, and we'll be on here till 9:30. I'm gonna give myself a time frame. But I want to apologize for my delay. Like, that's all me. 20 minutes is crazy. I gotta get it together. I apologize, but today was just a day. Okay, can we be real? So, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Samantha Lee. I am your host for tonight. The hostess with the mostest. Y'all, I'm trying to be wearing these appropriate things, and they just be making appropriate trying to be unappropriate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be. I'm in my era right now. I'm in my wifey era. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing anything update, so I don't know if anybody's on. But anyway, welcome to tonight's show, y'all. Tonight's conversation is about why culture's version of femininity isn't femininity at all, and what makes a virtuous woman truly desirable. So tonight's show is really going to be about me sharing my perspective on what I think or what I see in society we're calling feminine that isn't feminine. That's my whole point. Last week I spent a lot of time speaking with you guys about what I felt like people were calling masculinity wasn't masculinity at all. What this week, as I promised before, is that I am going to talk about what we're calling feminine that isn't feminine at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add us our TikTok viewers in. Again, you guys, I apologize. Today was one of them days. Can we be real? Can we be real? Can us just be real? And I still gotta post content, y'all. I'll tell you, the job never stops. Okay. Those who want to be content creators, the job does not stop. And then you got life going on. Life be lifing. So you got life in creating content. Let me get my TikTok together. Okay, they can see me here. Ooh, there we go. That's great. Ooh, okay. Cool. I look modest. Like, modesty is at a 10. Ooh, see, I'm looking like a wifey. I know. Oh, but then I'm telling you, bro, this angle is giving, like, it's what it needs to be is giving covered up. This front angle just want to be doing what they want to do. Okay. And I shouldn't be chewing gum, y'all. It's a bad habit. It is. It's a bad habit. But I am going to not chew it. I'm gonna put it somewhere. So, y'all. All right, then we're going. All right, let's get into it. So, guys, as I said, tonight's episode is going to be about, and I want you guys to see me in my feminine era. I want tonight's show to be about what I think culture is calling femininity that isn't femininity at all. Now, let me caveat this. Let me start this off the right way. I recognize that I may not be the most feminine woman in the world. Let's start there. Now, my daddy and my stepdaddy think I'm very feminine. My brothers think I'm feminine. But, I also understand that I'm from New Jersey. I'm a little, but I've been living in Atlanta for a minute, and I'm a little, I can be a little rough around the edges. And so I know that about myself. I really try to keep that together, but anyway, it's besides the point. I'm starting this off by saying I recognize I may not be the most feminine woman in the world. Okay, fair, right? Um, I am somebody that I like looking girly, right? I like looking girly. I like getting my hair done. Not huge on the makeup thing. Hasn't really ever really been my thing. When I was young, just like long story short, my mom. So when I was in ninth grade, I was starting to really get into makeup. I was wearing makeup. No, excuse me, 10th grade. I was starting to really get into makeup, and I was wearing makeup every day. And my mom took it from me, and she said, "You're going to make yourself look old putting on all that makeup." And so she basically took it away from me for like, I think it was like a year and a half or something like that. I don't think I could wear it really until I was a senior in high school. So it was like 2 years. And yeah, so I never really got into the makeup thing, right? Hair, I don't do my own hair, but I have learned how to do my hair for me. So I thank God for that. I've been able to learn how to do that. But again, these are all like little like things that we call feminine that I think that are feminine. When I see a woman, I don't know about y'all, but when I see a woman that's really well put together, I remember this one girl, and I'm not gonna say her name, but when I was in college, there was this one girl when I went to school, and I'll tell you what, her hair was always done. She didn't wear a lot of makeup, but it was like she was always so well put together. And it made me want to understand, like, it made me want to really become, because I'm not that. I was raised with brothers. Okay. And so, I, and a stepdad and a dad. And so because of that, I was not the most, at the time I'm fighting, My mom used to box, right? So I got into boxing or whatever. And like I was not the most feminine woman in the world. Like they thought it was so funny because I would like be running around with the boys, but like I'd be on my bicycle and I would put my purse on the bicycle handles while we would go out and like hunt down frogs and climb trees and build forts. Okay, that is who I am. Right. So if you know me, if you know anything about me, I'm like a homeboy in a girl's body. I am a homeboy in a girl's body. I am for some people, they love it. For some people that don't. But yeah, I'm like a homeboy in a girl's body. And so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Sam, you're the poster child of femininity. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. But what I will say is what I know is being purported as femininity is not femininity. Because I done seen femininity. I've done inspired to be more feminine. Okay. And hopefully, whoever, well, not hopefully, I know who God has for me is gonna like all, he's gonna be like, oh no, you're super feminine to me. And I'm like, it's like my smile. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm saying, I'm like a little rough around the edges, and I listen, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being that. But I don't agree. I do not agree just because I'm not super feminine, which again, we can argue about that all day, what that looks like. I know that I can be a little strong. I know I have like a little bit of a aggressive energy. I know that sometimes people can look at me and be like, okay, you're talking real greasy, you're talking real strong, you're talking, and I get that. I understand. So I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing what that looks like or what people feel about that. What I am saying is what we're calling feminine is not feminine at all. And there's some things there's some things that I really feel strongly about, that I want to talk about today. Okay, so I'm also going to be bringing up something else. I have locked in with a group for young ladies that are in HBCUs. They found some value in me. Beauty and Brains University, BBU. I will be their guest professor for the fall semester, and I will be doing a thing called Big Sis Chat, where I will be answering the questions of young women that are educated and beautiful. And I, of course, you know what I'm saying, you got to be. But I will be answering your questions, all your questions on what it looks like, how, I've had a lot of questions about charting the course. What does that look like? What's your regimen? Things like that. And I love giving knowledge to young women. I absolutely do. So I will be the guest professor for the BBU, guest professor, whatever. I'll be doing a thing called Big Sis Chat, where I will be talking to college age. And I mean, you could be older as well. It doesn't matter. I will be answering all your questions on what I do, as far as staying fine and smart. Period. Okay. It's still pursuing what you need to be pursuing, still looking good doing it. I think a lot of young women, we see a lot of different versions of what it looks like in our culture, and I really want to kick the door down with that one. So I am the guest professor, and I think the young ladies like that. I'm going to post it tonight. I meant to post it earlier, but I will be the guest professor with BBU, Beauty and Brains University. They came to me and talked to me about doing this. And so I want to do a collaboration with them. I love what they're doing. I was like, let me sit on the board or something. I would love to continue to work with young women, but I thank you for the opportunity. I will be teaching young women as we go moving forward about what it means for me to be a woman in today's society, a respectable woman, an accomplished woman, but a woman who also understands the value of what other purpose that we serve. Right. So BBU University, y'all look out. I'm going to be posting it tonight. I meant to post it earlier, so that you guys can, if you guys are ladies that are joining me, that you ask me about mentorship opportunities, wanting to know about this and that and the third, and I will absolutely share. I will bestow knowledge. I think too much in our community, we want to not share what's going on. No, I want to share with you guys, all the things going on with Samantha Lee, like all the different legs of what I do, and how I kind of keep me in the process of it. Okay. So that's that. But that is uniquely why I came on here tonight, and I want to dispel some rumors. Because again, I'm not the most feminine woman in the world, but one thing I will tell you is that I have a lot of men, whether they're young, whether they're old. I've had a lot of men, they respect what I bring to the table. And I think women know that about me. I have women that will reach out to me, and they know how how I carry myself on my platform. That there are men that they respect and they follow and be. And so they know that the way that I carry myself does resonate with all different kinds of men. And women want to understand that. Why is that? Why are men following you? Why do they like what you're saying? Why, you're not doing this or you're not doing that? Because I'm trying to knock down society's understanding of what it means to be a woman. In fact, I want to kick down the doors, and I know that God is going to open those doors. I thank him for the opportunity to be able to knock down those doors, because God has created us uniquely with unique talents and unique understandings and unique ways that we can speak to our men. And if you can look on my platform and you see that I may not be half naked, I may not be doing this, that, and the third, but I still have an audience, and there's still people that want to hear what God has to say about certain things. And maybe they want to hear it from me, maybe they don't, but I want to utilize whatever God has given me to be able to give him the glory. And in this season, I've felt very strongly prompted to kick down doors that we've created in society that are false. That's how I feel. They're false. I'm going to start with the first one because I'm taking too long to get to it. I'm going to get to the point. Number one, Sexuality is not femininity. Sexuality is not femininity. What do I mean by that, Sam? Oh, I'm in my soft girl era. Let me pose myself in lingerie. That's not soft. That's not femininity. That's sexy. That's not feminine. Sexy and feminine are not two different. To me, they're two completely different things. I can be sexy and not feminine. Feminine has a way about itself, okay? Feminine has a softness, right? I'm trying to get there. That's why I can speak on it, because it's actually what I would like to be. More of a softness. There's a softness to femininity. It doesn't, I've met some women, and it's not the fact that they're so you know, I'm trying to say it, but they're soft. They have a soft energy. They may be very, very opinionated. They may have some strong opinions, but they're going to say it in a way that's very like mindful, read the room. They understand, they have a way about them that's very soft. Like I have a coach. I've told you guys about my coach before, but my coach is very feminine. That's why she's my coach. I know uniquely, Sam is not the softest pillow, right? You know, especially when I'm talking. I might be a softer pillow when I'm not talking. My man may like me better when I'm not speaking. I don't know. I know if he's my man, he's gonna want to hear me talk. But anyway, I say all that to say, you know, when you are when we are talking about society, we see these women, they're like, oh, I'm in my soft girl era, and they're talking about like they're wearing like boy shorts and a bra, and they're saying they're soft girl era, or I'm in my feminine. That's not feminine. That's sexy. That's not feminine. That's I'm enticing sexual attention. And our today's society with women, we do not understand the difference between attention and intention. Just because somebody I'm getting a lot of attention does not mean I'm getting a lot of intention. A woman that is feminine is going to get intention. A woman that wants to be sexy is going to get attention, because again, men are visual. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Of course, I'm utilizing my platform a little bit differently these days. I want men to be more sexually disciplined. I want men to value their bodies and themselves way more than to just be giving out their bodies to anybody that wants it, that looks half decent, and you've got an itch that you want to scratch. I want men to be more discerning about who they allow near or around or experiencing their bodies. I want us to normalize men being able to say no to their impulses, and not telling them because they got money or they've got access that they should move on every impulse that they have, because as we can see, it's destroying our men. Other communities are being built up while other communities are being built down or torn down, because we're selling this idea that when you're non-committal and you're not building legacy, that somehow you're stronger, and you're not. You're weaker. You have less power. You're disenfranchising yourself. And they're using propaganda to do it. But with our women, they're telling our women, oh, it's empowerment. Yeah, just go online and undress yourself in front of people, and that's empowerment. That's a lie. Back in the day, when there was slave trading going on, they would look at women with voluptuous bodies and they would tour them around America as a circus act. If they had a really big butt or they had a really big breast, you can literally look it up. They would literally tour them around, and they would have people come in and touch them and experience them as if they were circus acts. That's what they did years ago. And now we've made a feminism movement about, oh, I just want to be able to run around naked and post all different kinds of ways, and men don't have the right to have a judgment about me. I'm sorry, that's delusional. It used to not be a choice. Now they've done propaganda good enough or well enough that it's been sold to us and ingratiated in our being that we need to portray ourselves in a certain way to get a certain type of man. And I'm here to tell you that's false. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different men over the last several years of me having a platform, whether it be from the top of men, whether it be from, men that may not have it the way that the top of men have. But what I will tell you is that all of it remains the same. Men look at women a certain way. And when you present yourself a certain way, they then put you in a category. And now you can hate it, you can love it, you can like it. They put you in a category. Now, a lot of women, oh, they shouldn't. I mean, it's my choice. No, but is it really your choice? Is it really your choice? Because before it wasn't your choice, but now they've done it. So they put sex everywhere. And so now we're sexualizing ourselves and getting mad at other people for sexualizing us. Is it really our choice? Or has the propaganda been propagandaing so well that we think that something that isn't our choice and that we're being conditioned to do is our choice? We have to think about socialism, family. We got to think about what people do. We automatically assume that we have so much control over what we think and what we do. But if you realize, we got to think about the influence. Look at how they're portraying things. Look at what we're seeing. It's normalizing wearing 30 pounds of makeup so that you don't even look like yourself. And we're making women not like who they are. Part of the reason why I don't wear a whole lot of makeup on these platforms, why am I on YouTube like this? Why do I do my podcast like that? Because we don't see enough normal looking women. They got the lashes, they made up, they take off their makeup, they feeling like 5s and 6s. Might be beautiful women, but because they have not. Because we are in a society that has made us become different version of ourselves. We no longer accept ourselves. We now trying to be everything else. We're not trying to be ourselves. I say all of this to say, because of the way that we are being sold certain things through the media that we consume, we are doing things that may not be really who we would naturally be if we weren't being influenced by the media. That's all I'm saying. And I think part of that is how we sexualize ourselves. I really do. I think that's the influence of the media. I rebuke and bind the enemy right now in the name of Jesus, because I already see what he's trying to do with my Wi-Fi. He's been doing this I don't know what's going on with him. Now, again, I'm not going to be here and be the conservative police, because that's not who I am, and that's not what I'm here to do. But what I am seeing is really sad to me when I see these young women, they turn 18 years old or even before then, and they portray themselves, cleavage, booty, all these things out. And it's like, I just can already see what's about to happen. Then we wonder why men ain't trying to get married like that. Or they're not trying to marry you like that. They want to date you for 80 years and never put a ring on your finger. I wonder why. We're not presenting ourselves, nor are we being taught how to be wives. We're being taught how to be girlfriends at best. So yes, I'm going to say it again. Sexualizing yourself is not femininity. It's sexualizing yourself. That's what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. I've seen some gorgeous women dressed up, and they're not, now you can see they shape, but they are covered up. And they are out. I mean, I don't know how to say out. I'm trying to say the word, but they are out doing it. They are literally, the women that are getting more attention because they showing more. Okay, yes. Is that a feat though? Is that really like, is that winning? Are you winning when you have to put 85% of your body online to get men's attention? Is that winning? Because let's be real, you're not putting it like, I'm gonna keep it real. When I was posting different things on the internet, it wasn't because, oh, I like the picture and that was it. If I just like the picture could stay in my phone. But no, I thought other people would like the picture too. And there's a part of me that want to be validated by other people's responses. So yes, I'm putting these pictures out because I want your attention. Why do we make it deeper? Why do we, oh no, it's being like, I just really, really just wanted to put me on a picture, and I just really wanted the world. I just really wanted the world to see this. Oh my gosh. It wasn't about them. It was really about me. It was really about me the whole time. No. It's about validation. We do not heal what we do not reveal. It's about validation. Call it what it is. Why we gotta play these games? You posted that because you wanted to see what people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you posting certain pictures online and you turned over and you twerking and you pouring stuff on yourself and you doing all of that, or you're half naked or you're this, and we have to understand, we have to look at things differently, family. And I'm not the conservative police, but what I'm here to tell you is that simply because you're sexy does not make you feminine. It makes you sexy. So that's why men are not considered, because she's dressed up a certain way, or because she's showing her body a certain way, or her body is feminine. She got a womanly shape. That don't make her feminine. There's men that say that all the time. Oh, she's so feminine. How is she feminine? Because she got a feminine shape, she's feminine? No. Sexual and sexuality and sexy is not feminine. They're two different concepts. Do we understand that? We have to be mindful, right? We gotta be mindful. So somebody, Mark wrote me. Thank you, Mark. Caught your preview earlier. Thank you for speaking on this. Literally and figuratively building my home to be in a place to turn it into a home one day. Love that, Mark. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it. Love it. So anyway, that's number one. And guys, you can't keep falling for the okie doke. We can't keep falling for the okie doke. Wifing up women because they sexy. We need to be, I'm saying this, but then there's men that'll be like, oh, well, my last girl, women today ain't this and women today ain't that. Well, we now got to take accountability for our actions and what we're entertaining. Just because a woman is sexy doesn't mean you need to entertain her or pursue her. We need to, if we want to change the standard, men, we need to do things differently. Oh, I want the standard change. Women need to be different. Women need to be this. Women need to be that. Okay, you need to change too, because when your behavior changes, their behavior changes. When we stop giving attention to the wrong things, when we start propping up the right women, the women that you want to see happen in society, I do see a shift. I'm not saying that I don't. There are men that are now propping up the right women, the women that that have something about themselves, that are beautiful, that are accomplished, the women that have something to say, but they bad to the bone too. We're lifting those women up. I love that. We need to continue to do that, because if we continue to lift these women up, guess what happens? This becomes more of the standard. Guess what happens? Your daughters then fall in line and want to be like her, versus the examples that we've been seeing. Okay. We want to change things up. Why? Because I'm raising a daughter in this generation, and you may be raising a daughter in this generation. And the way that we're seeing women be conditioned to become is not the way that I want my daughter to be raised. No. That's not feminine. It's just not. Number two. Oh, this one might hurt some people's feelings. Not working isn't about femininity. I don't understand the whole, like, I'm in my soft girl era, so somebody needs to take care of me. But the come take care of me and soft girl era and femininity are not all the same. I don't know where that came from. A woman being lazy is not feminine. A woman lacking ambition is not feminine. The Proverbs 31 woman was not lazy. The Proverbs 31 woman was entrepreneurial. She just had her priorities in check, but she was a feminine woman. She took care of her family. She took care of her household. She also had businesses. She was not just sitting at home looking cute on camera till her man came back. Oh, you're home. I've been waiting all day for you to get back. Oh my gosh, I have nothing better to do. You're here? I'm here? Yes. Oh my God, you've been here all day. Come here. Here. No. And if I was, and listen, if I'm talking to my brother, let me tell you something. I'm not going to tell my brother to be with some woman that don't have no ambition. You may not want your woman to work like that, but you want her to you want her to do something. What are you contributing to this world, baby girl? What's up? We're over here saying to people, oh no, I'm in my soft girl era. I don't want to pay a bill. No. I'm so feminine. I just want to be taken care of and buy me clothes and just buy me purses and, like, just like travel with me and take me to different places that are like exotic or whatever. Why? Why would I do that? Why? Y'all, if I was a man, y'all wouldn't know what to do with me. Okay? Because, like, it's like, why would I do that? Why? Because for me, if I was a man and I was in your situation, oh, she had to be all of that. She would have to be bad, smart. I can tell she's ambitious. And I would want her to be kind of funny. I like funny. Like goofy, funny, like I could be myself. Down to earth, you know what I mean? Oh, discipline. I need her to be disciplined too. That's what I will be on. I will be on like, no, you need to be bad for sure. 100%. You need to have some ambition about yourself. You need to be able to complete a coherent sentence. I want to be able to respect your mind. I want a woman that's intelligent. I want a woman who's down to earth. I would want a woman. These are the things that I would be if I was y'all. That's where I would be at, and I would not be entertaining anything less than that. I would not let no spirit, understanding what spiritual energy does. I would not be entertaining anything less than that. Why? Because I would want to protect my soul. My body's a temple, baby. That's how I would be. My body's a temple. I'm not about to allow the wrong spirit up in here, because a lot of y'all be selling y'all soul to the wrong spirit. She bad, and you just sold your soul to Delilah. You don't allow Delilah to cut your hair. Why is all these things happening to me, Sam? I mean, I got with this girl, and now this is happening, and that's happening, and this is happening, and that's happening. Oh, I wonder, did you lock up with somebody that might be doing witchcraft on you? You don't even know who you're laying down with. Lazy is not feminine. Sexy is not feminine. Those are lies. I mean, myself, era. I just want to be taken care of. Like, just take me to the spa and put the facial on my face. I'm doing nails. Let me walk around town and let me just be cute and go to brunches with my friends, with the girlies. Like, what? What are we talking about? No, that is not feminine. That's lazy. That's lazy and unproductive. What are we talking about? The Proverbs 31 woman moved with purpose. She moved with, she was an asset to her family. She was what her family needed. And that's what we're losing sight of as women. We're losing sight of them. We're losing sight of what we were created to be. And we're fighting actively against the role that God has given us. It is not just to sit idly beside some man. I'm not saying that that's not, I want to sit beside a man. I want to sit beside a king. I do want that. I desire that for myself. Y'all, I'll tell you what, I was going through some situations today, and I was like, man, I can't wait to not be walking this life by myself. I can't wait. With the right one, with God's best, oh, I can't wait. So I could call and have somebody to cry to. Who do you run to? When I need love, who do you run to? Where I get off this live, I go cut over my man somewhere. When I need love. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I said all that to say, we fight against, I feel like women, a lot of women fight against our desire to be connected to somebody that's meaningful to us. Right? And I feel like when we run away from that, when we run away from our God-given desire to be connected, to be in communion with somebody, we're fighting against our nature, family. We were created to be helpmates. And what happens is we fight against this role, and then we settle for the wrong man, and then we wondering why we're going through so much. And it's because when you just accept, like, okay, you know what? Like, when I accepted, like, I'm here to be a helpmate for the man that God has for me. Whoever God is pairing me for, or whoever he's preparing me for, whoever he's pairing me with, I am to be an asset to that man. I'm supposed to figure out however God is preparing me is going to work for him. And however God's preparing him is going to work for me. Like, we're supposed to be complements to each other and to each other's world. Whatever I'm good at, he may not be. Whatever he's good at, I may not be. That's what we're supposed to be. That when you understand that being a helpmate is not a bottom feeder role, it's a privilege. It is a God-given right. It is a beautiful thing to be able to take the side of somebody that's meaningful to you, that loves you well. What is, like, everything is like doggy dog. Like, we got to be individualistic in everything. We in competition. I'm not in competition with my man. I want my man to succeed, and I hope my man wants to see me succeed. We live in this doggy dog world. I can't be great and she be great at the same time. So now you got men competing with their wives, or you got wives competing with their husbands. We are out of order. And that's part of the problem. I'm not fighting against my order anymore. I used to fight against my order. What does that mean, Sam? I was caught up in becoming and my career and wanting certain accolades, wanting certain things behind my name, right? Wanting certain letters behind my name. that I lost sight of purpose. And that's not necessarily just about being somebody's spouse, but understanding the value of family, the value of being a helpmate to somebody. That when two come together and God puts you together, it's wildly profound. Wildly profound. And it's something for me that I had to learn, and I had to grow up into understanding my value. Yes, of course, I'm very grateful that people respect my mind the way that they do. I'm grateful that I have the platform that God has given me and has allowed me to see success as far as on the internet waves and off it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that women want to learn from me or men want to learn. Like I'm grateful for that. That's amazing. But I know that ultimately when I get with my purpose partner, that's when the show starts rolling. But I trust God to bring that when it's time. Allow God to put two people together. But again, because we're not having these honest conversations about what is feminine and what is not, what is masculine and what is not. We have a lot of broken versions of what these things are running around. And all it's doing is keeping us single longer. Or keeping us in broken relationships longer. It's not bringing about the fruit that will maintain something substantial. So lazy is not feminine. Sexy is not feminine. Somebody said a comment, y'all. That's why I'm like, ugh. But the Lord is working on me. I want to thank those who have already given in the chat, people that have hit the Cash App. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. I'm not gonna get into the people that are saying little remarks. I'm not gonna get into that. Lord working on me. Lord working on me. Said we need the ladies in this. I believe there's women on here. Let me read some of these comments before I get into the last one. 2 solid points with you ladies in this. I look forward to your new cover and teaching. You look like a young Eva Longoria. Y'all, I get Eva Longoria every time I come on here. And then I was working out in the gym today and somebody said, you look like Mariah. I said, Mariah who? He said, Mariah the scientist. Now, these younger generation swear I look like her. The younger, say I look like her. I'm saying, no, she look like me. Sam older. To me, Samantha Lee look like Samantha Lee. I like that, Jason. I like that. Again, you guys, I want to say this. I want to say this very, very well. Very well. I'm saying very well. I'm sorry. I'm maybe speaking a little all over the place today. It's been a long day, but I wanted to make sure I came on here. Even if I came on late, I want to make sure I came on here. I'm not trying to condemn. My point is to expose. I feel that in today's world, in today's society, there's not enough people telling the truth. There's not. There's not enough people telling the truth. And so because of that, I feel very strongly about feel very strongly about doing this because I don't think we have enough people. Too many people are so afraid about being liked. Like I'm seeing things online where people are doing more. Like I do see a difference. I see more women coming on and they're wearing less makeup or they're doing less. They're doing more to be more real. Are y'all seeing that as well? Like I'm seeing more real, but I don't know if I'm seeing more. I don't know. I could just be talking. So number 3, let's get into number 3, y'all. Because y'all, I need to be praying and talking to the Lord. I should have worshiped before I came on. So let's do number 3. Number 3. The third thing that I feel like people, or excuse me, why culture's version of femininity isn't feminine. Number 3 is appearance. Just purely appearance isn't feminine. Like it's not femininity because you look feminine. And I've kind of come around that because I've said sexuality. I've said, y'all, I'm so sorry. My brain is not going where I needed to go. I've talked about how sexuality is not. I talked about how the soft girl era, wanting to be lazy. I don't mind you being soft and really genuinely allowing a man to be a man. But what I am saying is when we're talking about we don't want to do nothing, we don't have no ambition, we're not even trying to seek our own purpose. We just want some man to come in on his white horse and save us. That's not femininity. But number 3 is that appearance solely is not femininity. Just because you look feminine doesn't mean you're feminine. I am a primary example of that. I feel like I look way more feminine than I actually am. Like, if you see me, you'll think I'm super girly. And I think that that's why my brothers and my dad and my stepdad think I'm like really girly. Because I look. They I asked my stepdad the other day, I said, okay, why, what, like, am I feminine? Blah, 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 blah. And my stepdad was like, yeah, like, you don't look like a guy. Like, you don't look like a guy at all. Like, you look like a woman. I'm like, well, feminine. Like, I'm like, okay, what do you mean? But he was just saying, like, in his mind, like a tomboy or somebody like that would look more like a boy. And my brothers and my dad and my stepdad do not see me as looking like a boy. So they're like, you are not a tomboy. But I have an energy about myself that's more down to earth. They look at it more like down to earth than they do like masculine, right? And there's other guys that are like that too. They're like, I don't think you're masculine at all. I think you're down to earth. I think you're authentic. I think you just cool. Like I think you just cool. You want to, you just whatever. Like one of them girls, I don't know. You're just cool, but you're not feminine because you're like down to earth. So it's like different. People define it differently. But what I will say is that just purely off of appearance doesn't, because I meet a lot of women and they look the part, right? But their personality, their persona, the way that they speak, how they carry themselves is not feminine. Feminine, there's a softness, there's a demure, there's a respect, there's a way that you carry yourself as a feminine woman. I've seen women say that they're feminine and all the things, and they are feminine. And I know I'm thinking of one right now. She is feminine, absolutely feminine. Like the way she carries herself. But again, I don't think feminine needs to be like we need to dress up and wear a bunch of makeup and put on different hair. And again, I'm not mad about you getting your hair done or you getting whatever hair looks good on you. I don't care. That's not my thing. Y'all know that's not my thing. I'm not here to condemn or anything. But what we've made feminine is like changing what you look like naturally and not accepting who you are naturally. And I think femininity is about accepting you naturally. Femininity is about owning who you actually are. I think that that should be a part of femininity. What we've had or call femininity is where we dress up, we put on a bunch of hair, we put on a bunch of makeup, we wear really nice female clothes, we wear the little purse and it matches the outfit with the shoes, and we walk around and like, oh, I'm so feminine. No, you're not. That is not feminine. Feminine is not about what it looks like. Feminine is not about being sexy. Feminine is not about being lazy or I'm looking for a new sponsor every other week so that I can go to the places that I need to go or I need to survive. That's not feminine. These are not feminine traits. I look at the ultimate level of femininity as the Proverbs 31 woman. Have I arrived at that? No. I am striving to become her. I am not her right now. I am trying my best to get there. But I see all the, oh, we wearing 80 pounds of makeup and we doing our hair and our hair is all nice. And I could be just as feminine without makeup. Femininity is about a mindset. It's a way you carry yourself. It's not about, we make it so much about appearance in today's society, and it's not about appearance. That's my whole point. My whole point is about it's being soft. Like I was talking to a woman that I really do identify as being very feminine, and yes, is she together? Absolutely. Every time I see her, she's together. Doesn't mean she's always wearing a lot of makeup. Doesn't mean she's always, no, but she's always together. She's clean. Clean is a thing. She's well put together. Her clothes match. She's not looking shabby, disheveled, The way she's moving is very, feminine moving. Like she's got the great posture. She's got, she's not showing too much. She's not showing, she's just right. When she speaks when she might say something strong, but she's still soft in her strength. Something I got to learn. Like I would say something and she's like, I don't think that that's the right thing, Sam. I don't think, yeah. Okay. And I'm like, wow. She's strong, but she's soft. She's pleasant. I mean, that doesn't mean you always pleasant as a feminine woman. She's like this soft, it's very like mannerable. She's respectful. She's respectable. It was just her, the way she, even the way she disagreed with me, she was poised. That's good, Rob. Poised. Respect. Well spoken. I'm not saying soft spoken. Well spoken. Because she was checking me. She was correcting me. She did it with grace. And in her energy, because of her softness, you wanted to know what she was thinking. You wanted to know what she had to say. You wanted that. Like there was a level of her energy that was light. That was like addicting almost. It wasn't rah-rah. It wasn't creating drama. It wasn't all over the place, calling people out. It wasn't throwing subliminal shots all over the internet. It wasn't being disrespectful because somebody was being disrespectful to you. It wasn't being petty because he said this or she said that. No, it was, I'm poised. I'm respectful. I'm respectable. I'm clear about who I want to show up as. And I'm not letting anybody off of letting me I'm not allowing anybody to get me off of where God has me. So what I'm saying to you is that we've made it a lot about appearances in today's society. I could care less how you look. I care way more about your heart posture and how you carry yourself. And we've made it like I said, we made it about a lot of different things. But it's not feminine. It's not feminine. A virtuous woman, a woman that understands her value, understands that she don't have to be the loudest person in the room. She don't have to dominate the conversation with her man to get her point across. When I started learning that, family, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I started learning, when I was in a relationship, I realized I had way more power when I was just, okay, all right. Oh, that's okay. That's what you want to do. Cool. Why are you not like, you're supposed to be like acting up? And I'm not. I'm just like, okay, fine. And that made that person want to know what was going on with me. So I submitted. I was like, okay, that's what you want to do. We're going to go with that. It made that person want to understand what I was thinking about that subject. And I do that. I now do that with everybody. I'll be quiet. There's times I won't be quiet, but there's times where I'll just be quiet. And I allow somebody to ask me if they want my perspective, I'll give it to them. But if they don't want my perspective, okay, well, Sam, what do you think about that? Then I'll share. But I've had to learn more restraint. I've had to learn more of that softness. I've had to practice that in my day-to-day relationships. Versus just inserting my opinion when it's not asked. There's a level of softness I wanted to learn. Now, life has made me a little bit hard. I'm not going to lie to y'all. You submitted and he was still tight. Yes. Yes. Not everybody appreciates a submissive woman. Not everybody appreciates a good woman. Some men can have a good woman and not know what to do with them. Happens every day, right? So for me personally, as women, I feel like we have a lot of aspirations that we think look feminine, but I think the way that I see femininity, just to button this up, is a Proverbs 31 woman. She was the ultimate version of a woman. And I think a lot of women, they portray themselves and look the part, but the character does not match the calling. What does that mean? I look feminine, but the way that I'm conducting myself in relationships, or the way that I'm portraying myself in relationships, or how I'm moving in certain areas of my life, do not reflect that of how I deem femininity. I also don't like the fact that we're making femininity less natural. Femininity is natural. We're telling women to be attractive is to be less of yourself. And that, I don't like that message. Because I've worked in schools where women at a very young age, we're talking about in high school, saving up for their first plastic surgery. We're not teaching younger women to love who they are and how God created them to be. We're showing them not natural physical appearances. And so, and again, making younger women and women all over feel like they got to be something that they're not in order to be accepted. And so I'm praying that we can make a difference, and I'm praying that we can have just different examples in society. You can be natural and you can be just as bad as the one that's not. You don't have to put on all this stuff and all this hair and, you know, wear all these different things to be considered feminine. You could be wearing I could be just as feminine in a t-shirt and some jogger shorts or joggers, and I'm just sitting here, you know, whatever, but the way that I'm carrying myself is feminine. You could be wearing the most feminine outfit, but if you're not carrying yourself femininely, you're not feminine. You just look feminine. So I want to get into, let's get into some conversation. I know we got a couple. What time is it right now? Okay, I got 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and talk about, let me answer some questions here. Does that make sense, y'all? Does that make sense? Because I want to make this palatable. I'm sorry I'm sleepy today, y'all. But I pray that the message came across the way I wanted it to. I'm just like a little tired. I should have spent a little bit more time. But did it make sense? I'm seeing yes in the chat. Perfect sense. Okay, cool. A lot of sense. Very good. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this. Because I'm seeing a lot of this. I would never tell a woman in life to just submit to any man. Because I see y'all saying that in the chat. A lot of y'all want wives, but you're not husbands. Until God prepares you to be a husband, or you feel like you've already been prepared to be a husband and you're ready to carry that mantle, then a woman should submit to you. But just because you're a man doesn't make you a husband and doesn't mean that a woman should submit to you. If you are not able to lead well, and that is evidenced by the life that you lead, meaning the fruit in your life shows that you are able to lead and lead well, then you can follow that man's lead. I'm not being led by a man that don't lead himself well. And I wouldn't advise a woman to be led by a man that isn't leading himself well. Reverse. I wouldn't tell a man to bring a woman into his fold if he doesn't determine her character first. That's part of why I'm doing this type of content. We focus so much on the superficial things, and we're not focusing on the things that actually matter at the end of the day. Because somebody being attractive is only going to get you so far. Bad and what? Handsome and what? What else? We stop at the fact that she got a nice body. Okay, cool. She got a nice body and a pretty face. Okay, cool. She got a nice body, a pretty face, and nice hair. Okay, so she got her physical down. What about her mind? What about her mind? How does she think? What's her spirit like? Do you know she could pray you out of a storm? Because inevitably you're going to find yourself in a storm, and you're going to need to know that the woman that you are with can hold that when the storms get tough. Yes, I believe a godly woman is important. Because a lot of y'all be complaining about women, and none of the women y'all talking to is godly. I don't care if they in church on Sunday, what their lives look like. Because a lot of the issues men have today, if you were finding a truly God-fearing woman, you wouldn't have that problem. Because God would have those conversations for you before you ever needed to. There are ways that God is checking me about me, and a man doesn't have to say anything to me because God is dealing with me. Thank you, YouTube user. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, y'all, I say this with love. Should a woman submit? I believe in divine order. Absolutely. I think a woman should submit. If I marry you, I should submit to you because I said I do. But the Bible says I submit to a man who submits himself to who? God. I should submit to a man who's submitting himself to God. That's divine order. That's authority. I submit to the man, and it says man should submit one to another, meaning that the woman and the man are mutually submitted. It says her body is his and his body is hers. Mutual submission. Under the covering of an all-knowing, all-perfect, sovereign God. That divine union coming together shakes the atmosphere. So again, submitting to the mission is a beautiful thing. But I would not submit to a man that couldn't lead me anywhere. I would need to see the fruit in his life before I decided I would say I do to it. I would need to know your mission, and I would like your movement. I got to see your movement. What's your movement like? How you move? Are you disciplined? It's important for for a man to be disciplined. It's important for me to see a man move in a disciplined manner in his life. He's not giving everybody attention. He's kind of, I like them ducked off men. I like the men that everybody don't know what they got going on. The left hand don't know what the right is doing. I like that. How are you moving? How are you conducting your business affairs? How are you, that's important to me. And then women get with a man and it's like, oh, because I just want any man. I just don't want to be alone. And now you're married and you're upset because you just married whoever wanted to marry you. You don't marry or date that way, family. I'm not just dating it or marrying anybody that want to marry me. No. I want the one God has for me. And that takes time, it takes patience, and it takes preparation. God has a perfect blueprint for our lives. And part of understanding the beauty of femininity and the beauty of masculinity, because masculinity is responsible, it takes responsibility. Masculinity takes responsibility. In today's society, we've normalized running away from responsibility, not calling a commitment a commitment. Oh, I don't want to say it's a commitment, even though it's a commitment. Where is that masculine? Where is that strength? That is not strength. Running away from responsibility and lacking discipline is weakness. It's not strength. Just like I said today, being sexy or being sexual, being lazy, or some aspects of the soft girl era, which is lazy, take care of me, not feminine. Appearance solely is not femininity. Just because you look feminine don't make you feminine. It was the same about masculinity. All these lies that we're portraying to the world are creating a very broken system because it's not real. It is not real. We need to be more discerning. We need to like, okay, you look good and what? We need to have discipline, sexual discipline. That's men and women. Just giving our soul away to whoever wants it. Oh, I mean, she look kind of cute, man. Like, why not? Your soul. Why would you just give you away like that? You don't think you worth more? You just gonna give a part of you away and and it's cool. No, I'm sorry. That's not cute. That's not funny. And that's not cool. That's not king behavior. That's joker behavior. Peasant behavior. Kings don't move like that. It's the same way with women. Having what they call it? A sneaky link. Looking at your social media is like watching soft corn. Saying, oh, well, I make money from this. You make money from what? You don't feel like there's a part of your soul that's on the altar of making money? We've got to think like this, family, because we're being deceived. We are being deceived. I've been deceived. That's why I'm being so strong about what I'm saying, because I've been deceived. It's important for us to really be above the influence and to really check what is influencing us. I know this is not a popular topic. I know this is not what people want me to talk about. They rather me talk about toxic this, toxic that. No, I want to change the world. I want to make an impact. I want my life to matter. I want when you put me in a grave one day, you can say, you know what? That young lady used her influence and she used it well. That's what I want. Good job, my good and faithful servant. You went on earth, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. Instead of talking about these superficial 50-50 topics and all these other things that really don't matter. Like, that stuff doesn't matter. You don't want to be with a man that does 50-50, then don't get with a man who wants to do 50-50. You don't want to be with a woman who doesn't want to do 50-50, then do like these. That's like irrelevant. Why are we talking about that? We want to make what we want normal. Like, the reality of it is, family, I've gotten to a place where, like, I'm not for everybody and everybody not for me. It's okay. You don't got to like me. I don't got to like you. You ain't got to think I'm cute. I don't need to think you cute. Like, we want everybody to agree and like what we want and all. Like, why? For what? You ain't got to like me. You ain't got to like what I like. I like what I like. I'm going to find it. Oh, I'm going to find it. Well, no. He going to find me. He going to find me. You don't gotta want me. The man that God has for me, he want all of this. You don't need to want it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that we try so hard to make, if you got to do 50-50, that's what you want to do, cool. If you don't want to, cool. You don't want to be with a woman who has a child, cool. You want to be with a woman who has a child, cool. You want to be with somebody who's in her 30s? You want to be with somebody in her 20s? Cool. I don't care. I only need one. There's only one man I'm looking for. I'm not looking for 20, 30 men to want me. No, I want one. I want a one, like, yeah, I want that one. I meet him, I'm like, ooh, okay, my earth. He done got Sam. He done got me messed up. Oh, Lord, how did that happen, Jesus? I want that. I want that type of guy. I'm like, I meet him, I'm like, whoo, and the earth shook. You done got Sam together. I don't know how you did it, so I don't know how you did it. That's what I want. That's what I want. So, long story short, y'all, I'm gonna drop it here. But yeah, we all got that chosen. I have a chosen one. I'm looking for my chosen one. I'm not just saying, why are you still single? Why you not with no dude? Why you not? Why you not? Because I'm waiting for that one. I walk in, I'm like, oh, okay, God, you trying to get your girl caught up, huh? You trying to get me off the market? Stop playing with me. But again, I just don't, we got to be utilize more discretion. I don't want something so bad that I'm ignoring like the red flags that are before me. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on God for sure. For sure. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God for sure. Chosen one. I like that. That chosen one for me. I'm waiting on him. And I don't know, because I'll be like, ooh, okay. Oh, it's you for sure. You got me messed up. I already know what time it is. You the one. So what's up? How do I know? How are you gonna know? April asked. So April, part of the season God has put me through, and this is my last thing I'm gonna say, is hearing his voice. As part of the process that God brings you through when you go through a wilderness season, is truly hearing his voice. So you go through a lot of different stages of that, where it'll be little things that he talks to you about, then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And how you know is basically the fruit of that choice. So if God tells me, for example, hey, Sam, I want you to call this person, or I feel it very strongly, I call that person and I tell them what I believe God told me, and they start to cry, or they start to say, how did you know to tell me that? I now know I'm hearing from God, right? So that's been a series of that, where there's been things that I've done over and over and over again, where I've continuously seen the hand of God. I've also seen it in other people's lives, where they will call me up and they'll say, God told me to call you. And it'd be in the exact moment that I needed somebody on the phone. I've had situations that I cannot explain, where it's been people that have been healed. It's been situations where I've had to sow. I felt God had me sow into somebody, and that person needed it at that time. Again, it's a bunch of different ways, but God will bring you through a season or seasons of training you to hear his voice. When you start to understand that, you start moving on that, you start being obedient to that, he'll then up the ante. He brings you up and up and up from glory to glory. And you get tested more. You use higher cost to obedience. And so in those moments, I listen, this summer was, God called me to higher levels of obedience. And I saw the fruit of that. And I knew it was God. Everybody around me knew it was God. They could not believe what was going on in my life. So with that being said, now I hear from God, but even with me hearing him and knowing when it's his voice and when it's me, I still put it before wise counsel. I still say, hey, sister in Christ, pray with me on this. Hey, coach, pray with me on this. Because I want to make sure I'm hearing God, right? Because unless you're spending time with God and you're living a life of consecration, you can't be out here just living in the world and you hearing God clearly. It takes purity. It takes intentionality, right? And over time, you will start to hear him more and more and more. It's a process. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody said I heard him for the first time last month. Amazing. Yeah, Mark. When you start hearing God, and it's really a beautiful thing. He always talking to us, but most of the time we don't recognize his voice. Exactly. Exactly. We don't recognize his voice. So anyway, I am going to jump off, y'all, because I am tired. I gotta ice this leg. I still haven't posted my content on all my platforms today, so I'm gonna go do that while I take a little walkie walk. But I love y'all. I thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'll be back on I might come back on again. You know, if I have time tomorrow, I'll come back on again because I was sleepy tonight. I might come back on. So I'll send you guys a community tab post and let you guys know if I'm coming on again. Okay. I love y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so tonight was tough, but if I have the energy tomorrow, I'll come back on and I'll try to do another one for y'all so that it's a better quality for you. You deserve that. Okay. Y'all been rocking with me for a long time and I trust y'all and I don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all. But I love y'all. I love y'all. Okay? Anyway, family, I love y'all so much, and I hope you guys have a good night. Okay? Good night. Bye, family. Bye, TikTok. Bye, U of Tube. I love y'all. Love y'all. Bye-bye.